Welcome to the first episode of the Warlords Council.
The very first.
Today, pretty big day. It's Friday, February 2nd. Chapter 893.
Great chapter. Great number.
Charlotte family's 36th daughter, Flambe. Who, first of all, let me just say that I hate her.
She sucks.
She's terrible.
She sucks. At least she breaks the mold for Oda's One Piece female characters, in that she's not the same shape as everyone else.
Well, kind of.
Who knows though? I don't know. Do you think she's has just really poofy pants, or is that her body? Dogtooth has that crazy mouth.
I thought they were poofy pants. I think, did she deflate a little when she blew into her blowgun?
I'm not sure actually.
I kind of noticed something like that.
But when did she? At first, I thought last chapter it was one of her random sniper goons that actually got Luffy. It turns out, it seems, that it was her the whole time.
Yeah.
Now, they describe them as darts. And when you think darts,
Needles.
usually in mangas, needles, darts, they usually carry some kind of poison. So is Luffy poisoned now?
I think so. I think that's why his legs are wobbling so much, is because he's got some sort of paralyzing agent.
He's also apparently missing a kidney now. So, I don't know, even by manga standards, that is a grievous wound.
Oh.
And if the translation is to be believed, Dogtooth described it as a fatal wound.
Dude, absolutely. You can see the blood pouring out of Luffy's shorts, when he tries to stand up. It's brutal. So let's get Flambe out of the way because I hate her, and I'm so angry that the title of the chapter was Flambe.
Having said that, I think that also means, before we close the case on her, she's not done just yet. She's still conscious.
No, she was knocked out.
I thought she reeled from the King's Haki.
Oh no, dude, her head got knocked back. She had baking soda pouring out of her mouth.
I still don't think she's done playing her part in this. Someone has to witness Dogtooth losing.
Oh,
I think she's going to wake up just in time for that.
Well, I have this image in my head of they have the mirror set up on Cocoa Island with oven and all the soldiers and whatnot, that final mirror, and Dogtooth just gets thrown out of it. I would up that.
It would be a good way to Luffy to make an entrance, but
I really don't want any more Flambe. I've just had my fill.
Flambe really set the stage, though, for, I don't know why, all of a sudden, the biggest fan of Dogtooth just decides to throw him under the bus, just because it turns out he has an awesome mouth full of sharp teeth that he can use as a weapon, but chooses not to because he's good enough without it.
Dude, not yet.
Yeah.
So here, touching on Dogtooth's mouth, was he born with a giant mouth and sewed it closed, or did he rip his own mouth open?
I think he ripped his own mouth open by being so gluttonous. Because he definitely seems the size. If it will just get smaller donuts, man. He was eating donuts that were specifically as big as his mouth is wide. There was no need for it.
Oh man, I love the face he makes when Luffy pops it open. He's got ooh, his eyeballs pop out a little bit.
That's why Dogtooth is one of the most colorful villains we've seen in a long time. Even Doflamingo, he had his whole loves chaos thing, but even he was kind of just run of the mill villainous. Dogtooth, I even hesitate to really call him a villain. He's more just a rival, just like the Supernovas are to Luffy. Yeah. I can even see him, perhaps, he's too loyal to Mama to outright betray her, but I think he'd grudgingly, let Luffy go, or something like that. Or
in his heart?
Yeah, if he felt that, if he felt their fight got interrupted too much, I believe that he'd leave it for another day and let Luffy go.
Yeah.
If he were alone and not with Mama and under Mama's direct orders to capture Luffy.
Dude, I totally agree with that. That's a really good observation. Because at this point, oh my god. So
they're almost friends at this point.
Yeah.
They're basically I feel like he even acknowledges that Luffy's using him as training.
Yeah.
And that he just notices that he's actively getting better.
Yeah.
Which should scare him.
And Dogtooth just really doesn't know why Luffy came back, and I think he's figuring it out. Luffy's trying to steal his technique.
Yeah. It's just, it shows that Luffy, how much of the future Pirate King is in him, and why he can bring people over to his side, because he starts out this match as basically no match for Dogtooth whatsoever, and while he's getting his ass kicked, he's slowly, by increments, just Rocky Balboaing it. like to the point where he just keeps getting back up until for some reason he just manages to get on his level, which Dogtooth, as it was born with it, and just like from the day he was born until now, has just been untouchable.
You can see why he's untouchable. I mean, he's got a Logia fruit. He's got.
Is it though? Like, I believe there was some kind of confusion about whether he had a Logia or a Paramecia. There was some kind of debate, or Oda put out something that threw that into disarray.
Yeah, you're right. There was. It was when Jinbei's like, oh, he's got a Logia type, the Mochi Mochi fruit. But I think it was a misprint in the manga, like volume.
Viewers, correct us on this. If
volume 85. I'm not.
Might have been a mistranslation. We're gonna, for the sake of this discussion, let's assume he's a Logia.
He's definitely a Logia.
The odd part about it is he seems to have some kind of mochi teleport thing, because he has his blobs of mochi that produce the fist appear out of midair.
Yeah.
Maybe in the anime it will show them floating off of his shoulders or something, but for now...
I think they're coming out of the ground, maybe, because he's got an awakened fruit.
Just goes bloop. Oh, that's true. Yeah, he can turn pretty much anything. Maybe he can turn the air itself into mochi.
Oh, it's so f***ing OP at that point. Oh my god.
I feel like we're gonna be seeing a lot of more OP fruits as we get further and further along. Ever since the reintroduction of the manga after the 2-year time skip, more and more fruits just seem to be, as we see more people with complete mastery of their fruit.
Yeah.
It just seems like we're gonna see more and more fruits that just seem ridiculously strong.
Yeah. Dude, so I was thinking about this the other day. There's a character Hit in Dragon Ball Super. I'm gonna drop a Dragon Ball Super reference right now. Hit can like pause time.
Inspired
or
me,
like,
by the way.
I don't know what Hit does, but he works with time. Like, what if we saw a space fruit and a time fruit? Would that just completely break the series?
I really hope that this series does not bring in anything resembling time manipulation.
Alternate, yeah.
It's bad. It's just, it makes mangas convoluted, and it just... Part of the reason Naruto fell apart in the end is because they started f***ing with that exact thing.
Oh,
where
really?
They started traveling through time in small amounts, and pocket dimensions and all this random crap. At least with One Piece, we have pocket dimensions in the mirror world and the book-like thing, but they're contained. They're not just like, you're not going to have entire arcs in them.
Yeah.
They're just small little pockets and limited by the person's fruit. And if that person gets knocked out, that pocket dimension's gone.
Yeah.
Although this one is very heavily, this arc is really, half of it has taken place in the mirror world.
Yeah. It's been Brûlé should be executed by Big Mom for how much she's aided the Straw Hats.
It just shows that it's sometimes your fruit can really be turned against you.
Yeah, absolutely. If you just get tied up and thrown in a bag.
But it also shows a lot of these emperors rely on some of their weaker members to produce like massive amounts of either transportation or soldiers. Doflamingo relied on sugar to produce almost every soldier he had. Meanwhile, now you have a linchpin that while her fruit is overpowered, she herself is very weak. I doubt she could have taken a punch if somebody managed that.
Absolutely.
But Usopp managed to knock her out just by scaring her.
Nami got her with like the climate baton early on.
And she did not like that.
No. Yeah.
It's been, who knows how long it's been since Big Mom's been properly challenged besides with another emperor.
Yeah, it seems like Big Mom's just had like free range to just build her empire as she pleased.
Yeah, I believe like maybe the Marines and other emperors kind of create the natural borders, but I just feel like the Marines in particular have not even seemed to care about what the emperors have been doing, even though clearly they've been consolidating power as much as they can.
Yeah, but why would they wage war with Big Mom? Like, for Totland, like, no one's interested. It seems like the citizens there are relatively happy.
But you would think that Akinu, after taking over the fleet admiral position, and it's described that the Marines have taken a more aggressive stance, but at the same time, 2 years have passed and they're still the same emperors and they've still been consolidating power like they have pre-time skip. So who has he been aggressive against? Minor pirates? That means nothing.
I guess nobody. I forget.
The supernovas? No, it hasn't been the supernovas because they've all gotten better too after the time skip.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, besides the Marines rebuilding Marineford, what have they been doing? What have they been consolidating? I would really like the new meeting of all those kings to touch on that. Maybe the Marines have acquired one of the ancient weapons. and they plan on using it.
Pluton.
Yes.
Dude, the battleship. And there's another ancient weapon that we haven't even heard of, right? Uranus? Is that it's
Yes.
Poseidon, Pluton.
I'm sure it'll
battleship,
tie into
and there's
Wano
one
somehow.
more.
It seems like each one of these arcs is also getting tied in. Like, it's kind of a forgotten thing at this point in this arc, but one of the main objectives besides rescuing Sanji was to get the blueprints for all the poneglyphs.
Yeah.
And they've accomplished that thanks to Brook, who is one of the all-stars of this arc.
Absolutely. Honorable mention to Brook. MVP
Very
for
honorable.
Brook.
And I think the next time they tangle with Big Mom, he'll be much better prepared to take on her homies. I think he
Absolutely.
will up his game and basically be a great counter to Big Mom.
I would love to see that. I'd love to see Brook figure out a way to like separate the soul from the actual entity, like blow Prometheus and Zeus out of themselves so that they're just clouds and fire.
It would be.
Even if
It
Big
would
Mom
be.
could just like refill them for a moment, they'd be incapacitated.
Either that, or I was thinking since one of his soul powers in combination with his music seemed to be like illusion and persuasion. I was thinking maybe he turns Big Mom's own homies against her and basically brings them over to his side via his soul's power.
Yeah, as long as
And
he
the
keeps
power
like
of his
riffing
music.
on a guitar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's going to be the caster in the back of the Straw Hat groups.
Ah, that would be
As
really
long as he
sweet.
can just keep shredding and giving sick background music to Luffy fighting, all the homies will have no choice but to fight for the Straw
Yeah, the
Hats.
Straw Hats would get pumped.
Perhaps
That would be
even
great.
turning one of the fragments of Big Mom's own soul against her. Though that would be pretty hard.
Yeah.
Though they've kind of tricked. It seems like Big Mom's soul fragments, almost all the homies, are stupid.
Yeah.
They're just
They're
stupid
kind of
and
like
gullible.
yeah.
The Sun guy, he seems to have more intelligence than the rest of them. Or at least more anger, which
Yeah.
helps.
Zeus is just an idiot. He's
Zeus
got that
is-
fun little
Zeus
twirly
is
hat.
he's a cloud, he's an airhead.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, they kind of like live off of Big Mom's impulses, like they embody those impulses.
And I also feel like her hat sword, Napoleon?
Yeah,
Napoleon, I believe he kind of acts as maybe advisor or a sarcastic butler kind of to Big Mom. Maybe throws in a little jibes,
yeah,
argues with the homies. He seems to have some kind of background. Because he mentions once that in my country or something like that, you'd be executed for either saying or doing something somebody did a few chapters ago.
Ah.
It seems to suggest
Oh,
he has
maybe
a
like
past.
Zeus for like betraying them. I think maybe something like that. Like Nami gets him to release that lightning bolt into the forest.
Hmm.
Maybe that's what he was referring to. Yeah, I do remember that. Maybe it's just like a comment on like 18th century France, like Napoleon just executing like anyone he didn't trust.
Big Mom's a fan of ancient history that
Yeah, ancient
never happened in her
Earth
universe.
history, real people history. She's got the books.
leaks through the cracks.
Montior read the books. So going back to Kaido and Wano, why did Kaido want Wano so much? Was it just to get the directions to Raftel? Because I don't believe that. Because at that point, he would have massacred the entire island. That seems more like Kaido's style. I feel like he's there for a reason. And what I was thinking about recently is, so the ancient Wanos were able to carve the poneglyphs. Whatever material they're made out of is indestructible. No one specifically said that it's sea
Very
stone.
special stone.
Yeah.
No, if it was sea stone and we want to get it, it's absolutely can't be sea stone.
It's definitely not sea stone. So maybe they found a way to mine and forge that and like line ships with like indestructible hulls and stuff like that, and like armor that's completely indestructible. And maybe he's trying to completely take over that industry within Wano. Like, why else would he occupy it this whole time?
I feel like Wano's, it has been since the beginning of One Piece, it's like the one nation that's a complete mystery to us still. And it seems like as well as the Island of Women, it's one of the few nations that's completely independent by force from the world government.
Yeah.
The world government simply doesn't have the resources and the strength to take over Wano country. But it seems like Kaido has managed to, I don't think he's completely defeated Wano country. I think he's usurped it. I think by killing
That's a good point.
I think he's, by taking advantage of maybe their class system or their honor system, he's managed to king himself as a tyrant by defeating their previous leader.
Yeah, they mentioned in the Whale Tree that Kaido had like made a deal with like the Shogun, which is like the feudal samurai government. I'm messing this up. I'm so sorry. It's like a government.
Wano country details have been sporadic.
Yeah, well, Shogun throughout Japanese history was like the governing body, like underneath the emperor.
So yeah, I guess I'm a little off base too. So he's currently, there's still another Shogun, or is he Shogun?
The Shogun, I think, is like a governing body, but he kind of made a deal with them so that they could usurp Odin the king at the time, or he could. But they're saying that he still occupies the country.
Yeah. Either he's the current leader or he's the leader in the background. Either way, he's running the show over in Wano country.
And I think if Kaido really wanted to wage war against Wano, I think he would completely destroy them.
I don't know about completely destroy them. They're one of the most powerful countries in the New World. I just feel like if the world government can't manage to take them over, I don't feel like Kaido, maybe he could, but how would he be able to fight the world government afterwards?
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I don't know what I'm talking about, because we haven't seen Kaido's forces, we haven't seen Wano's forces.
Kaido's forces are apparently all zones, and seem to be pretty strong. The one lamb guy seemed like a regular, maybe lieutenant in his army, not really very high ranked, and managed to take a couple hits from a couple did Sanji hit him with the Diable Jambe? Yeah,
he did like a rain thing, and he kicked him a whole bunch of times.
Brooke maybe slashed him a couple times, you know. They were kind of evenly matched. Brooke's not.
Oh no, like Brooke, like he goes to like punch Brooke. I'm gonna show like this whole clip like right around here too. Like he goes to like punch Brooke. Brooke blocks it and starts like freeze his horn arm, and then Sanji comes in and just wrecks him.
Little tag.
Knocks some teeth out of his head. Huh? Yeah, I don't know why I made that claim that he would completely destroy them. I have nothing to base that on. We don't know either side.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get to see. I still think that when they arrive to Wano country, Zoro has been captured. I don't see Zoro arriving at Wano country and not making a big scene. He's all about dueling. He's all about proving he's the strongest. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of cocky assholes in Wano that think they're top shit swordsmen. Dude, and he's gonna have to take them down.
I do like that theory. But then
he was about to kill one of the world nobles for offhand.
I mean,
just cut his head off just because he pointed a pistol at him.
What, you need directions or something? Yeah,
This man's not afraid to murder.
I could absolutely see that being the case. I really hope it's not. I can see Law trying to control Zoro. Like, Zoro gets into a fight, he just keeps, like, moving Zoro away.
Zoro and Law, I feel like they'd be able to get along pretty well. If Luffy and Law get along, then I think Zoro and Law should be able to get along just fine. Because they have the kind of same, very serious attitude.
Yeah, very stoic, very even-keeled.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But Law is also pretty laid back when he's not in a fight.
Yeah.
He likes to chill. He sits like this all the time.
Yeah, just
always showing off the knuckle tattoos. He's always got to have his knuckles pointed. Yep, and he's all about the crazy hand signs.
Loves it.
That's the thing in manga. If you're using a power, you have to like manipulate your hand in weird ways. You can't just go like this. That's boring. You gotta be able to. Gotta go like that. And this is how he moves people around in his room.
It's kind of cool though.
At least Doflamingo has an excuse for all his crazy finger movements because, you know, each one's a string or several strings. What's Law's excuse? I'm pretty sure he could just go whoop, whoop, whoop. Or just give everybody the finger. And that's how he moves people around.
Into the sky.
It's very...
Dude, I love the memes that came out of Sabo's Dragon Claw, because if you look, like, these two fingers are, like, where your thumb should be.
Sabo is the king of unnecessary hand positioning.
Oh, man.
Like, we get it, man. You're a fan of Dragon. He's your dude. That's fine. I'm sure Dragon's a little uncomfortable about all this.
Like, alright. He's got a dragon tattoo on his chest.
You save a little orphan noble from drowning, and all of a sudden now...
Okay.
At least he's a good second in command.
Yeah.
I hope we get some closure on what happened with that. Blackbeard seemed to be about to attack the revolutionaries. I don't think Dragon's so easily duped, or Sabo. So we'll have to see what happens.
So they got tipped off by Burhees being left on the island. Did they plant him there and try to like entrap Blackbeard?
I feel like the revolutionaries knew that he was there. I just don't feel like Burgess is the stealthy type. I don't feel like he can sneak onto a pirate ship and just hide behind a couple barrels and they don't know.
Especially covered in burns, like...
These are the revolutionaries. They're masters of espionage.
Yeah.
They managed to strike from the shadows and irritate the world government and not be considered pirates and be labeled the biggest threat to the world government for so long. And I just don't feel like a 12-foot tall,
beefcake,
6-foot wide man is going to infiltrate the group.
Yeah, no, I think you're lowballing us. It's like as wide as a minivan.
He's taller when he's lying on his side.
He's the original guy in this. Yeah, no, I think they planted him there.
He's the king of no leg day. He took the crown from Frankie.
Now, why did they do that? Maybe they were trying to plant some surveillance nails on Blackbeard's ships, because Blackbeard apparently sent his whole fleet there. Maybe they were trying to trace Blackbeard's hideout.
It's possible. I would agree with that rather than trying to convince Blackbeard to outright attack them and then attack them back. I just don't feel like that would work out too well for them. But yeah, it makes a lot more sense to maybe get in a couple hits, but more importantly, plant some agents or plant some tracking devices, because Blackbeard obviously seems to be one of their biggest enemies right now. He's actively hunting them down.
Yeah.
So they got to keep tabs on him. So maybe they abandon this fortress. Maybe they abandon this stronghold.
Yeah, and it's possible that the Marines or one of their other major enemies, we're not sure if it's Blackbeard or whomever, was getting close to their location, so they were going to have to abandon it.
No, I'm sure they have many mobile bases.
Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah.
This just hopefully wasn't too strategically important.
So, going back on the fighting people, we're going to see Marco soon.
Marco, I want to see some bad battle scars on that dude.
Yeah, I mean, can he receive scars?
I believe so, maybe. We haven't seen, maybe...
As a Phoenix...
When he had the sea-sewn handcuffs on him and he got blasted in the stomach from Kizaru, maybe he has scars now.
I think he healed those up. I'm not sure. I gotta look back at the manga.
It depends on, I guess, yeah. Maybe he does heal from all wounds, even though he was unaffected under Sea Stone when he received them. Maybe the second the cuffs were off, it was just, he healed up.
I would like...
One of the coolest fruits.
I would like to see that someone on Instagram, I saw someone made a cool fan art of Bascot's shot, the legendary drinker on Blackbeard's crew, half diamond. Insinuating that Jozu was killed in the Blackbeard Whitebeard fight. Yeah, which I don't.
What has he done? What did he do during the entire Whitebeard war besides get taken over by Doflamingo like that?
He punched Crocodile in the face.
Oh, great!
No one's ever done that
Crocodile. He got beaten by a rookie with a $35 million bounty. What was it?
It was 30 at the time.
Yeah, 30. Yeah. 30. Some warlord. Inconsistent, Oda. Warlords were weak pre-time skip. What was going on with that? How are they a counter to Big Mom and Kaido?
No.
In what way?
I mean, all 7 together?
Yes, but like they also said when they were trying to get all 7 together, you can never get all 7 together because they're a bunch of independent assholes that are plotting against the world government all the time. World government is letting a lot of plots slide. They let any pirate who has a standing army just do whatever the he wants.
Yeah, well, I think Akainu saw that firsthand, and he's not willing to make the same mistake twice.
Yeah, it makes sense why he hates pirates so much, and he just is not about alliances with any of them.
Yeah, I would love to know Akainu's backstory. Like, maybe his family was enslaved by pirates or murdered by pirates. It seems
like he might have some connection to Wano himself. He seems to have some kind of heritage in his looks, and some of the fan art, it shows him in a Wano-like setting.
Oh yeah, even Oda's drawn him like that.
Yes.
He draws a lot of people like that, though. Oda has admitted that samurai are his favorite thing to draw.
It's great.
I mean, I
It's
love
fun,
samurai.
and they're very colorful. The armor,
Oh yeah,
it's just
so
fun
much
to
history.
draw. If I could draw, I'd draw samurai.
I draw samurai all the time. All right, back from the break. I got my cinnamon toast crunch.
We got coffee number 2, number 3 actually today.
Oh goddamn!
Yeah, well, not pulling any
It's
punches.
the day off. Yeah, I need to re-energize. By the way, this episode brought to you by Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Give us money.
All right. So Matt, you want to talk about the Sunny?
Yeah, the Sunny has been going through its own small little character arc
Yeah.
during this whole adventure. You know, we saw the crew split up, but we have to remember that the Sunny is a crew member, and like the Going Merry, you have to assume the Sunny's even somewhat sentient, since the Going Merry seemed to be able to communicate with the Straw Hats while it was being burned alive. It was really cool about the whole thing, though, being burned alive. Like, no, don't save me on some island and come visit and say hello. Burn me alive. It's fine. I'm done.
I guess planks of wood don't really have nerves. Can't really feel the fire. It's just gotta accept it.
But the Thousand Sunny has been brutalized throughout this entire thing. Well, I guess that's a given when Big Mom lands on you and starts it up. But Adam Wood, no match for Big Mom's teeth and her
Not at
arms
all.
and her sword.
She just lifted it up.
She was going to cut the
Like I'm looking
Thousand
for
Sunny
pennies
in
under
half.
the couch. What?
She was going to cut the Thousand Sunny in half in the hopes of finding that wedding cake, which would have assuredly sunk into the sea if she had even done that.
Absolutely, and there's no doubt in my mind that she could have.
In the end, if Big Mom had her way and actually killed the Straw Hats, she'd be destroying her own country in essence, because she'd never get that wedding cake, her tantrum would never end, and almost every one of the islands in her territory would be ashes at the end of it all. I assume she eventually calms down like Hulk and just exhausts herself, maybe when she's skin and bones, but until then, it would just be chaos. But the Thousand Sunny, yeah, been through a ringer, and Frankie's not going to be happy about it. But I think this is going to be a good opportunity for Frankie. He made the Thousand Sunny pre-time skip, upgraded it maybe a bit when he spruced it back up after the time skip, but this is going to be the next time for a major upgrade for the Thousand Sunny.
Yeah.
A Emperor-proof Thousand Sunny.
Absolutely. And this kind of brings me back to my Wano theory, that they're master craftsmen and
Exactly.
stonesmiths.
Yep.
Maybe the bow will be outfitted with whatever kind of ore they're mining.
Reinforcements from those things, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, maybe Wano's known for their ships.
The Straw Hat, yeah, a lot of the Straw Hats could use a small weapon upgrade. I feel like Zoro's going to find a new sword, maybe, in the Wano country throughout this arc.
That'd be kind of cool if
Or
Zoro's
has he
like
settled on his 3 swords?
I mean,
They each have a name,
I
don't
think
they?
so. They're each named, they're each legendary.
Because he's got the one for sentimental value. He's got the one Black Lotus sword or whatever it's called, the flower sword from the zombie samurai.
Yeah, I forget the name of
With
it.
the heavy metal. So that
Sorry,
sword,
guys.
that sword is obviously going to stay with him. And his 3rd sword was the cursed blade. The cursed blade.
I think he settled. I mean, I wouldn't mind. I think it'd be cool if Zoro started collecting swords and like using them for like different.
Perhaps the cursed blade.
If Zoro just
he'll
became an
find out
RPG character.
You just swap out for his sword of ice and sword of fire.
Yeah,
It'd be great.
the sword of +1 smithing.
+1. Just make it a little bit better.
1 point.
He's gonna help out Frankie with the Thousand Sunny. He's gonna be using his sword as a hammer. He pretty much does.
That's very disrespectful to the blade.
It's a tool. But maybe during this arc, instead of perhaps a new sword, he gets more background and maybe lifts the curse on his current sword, thus making it better.
Ooh.
It's odd that they say that there's a curse on this sword. So what do curses mean in One Piece? Because we've never dealt with magic outright. Devil fruits are the only magic that we have. So is the sword affected by some kind of devil fruit? Or is there something else in play?
Ooh. Good point. I don't know. And wasn't that sword part of like a set of cursed swords?
Probably. I remember that random merchant gave a little bit of background on it, but it was so long ago we'd have to reference back.
Yeah. I'm sorry guys, I don't have my laptop on me.
We're gonna
I
get
wanna
the
be-
we're
I
gonna
wanna-
get the show tip top.
Episode
tight
1.
ship.
Stick around.
Plain and loose.
I think there were a set of cursed swords, and the Dalai Lama looking elder of the 5 elders has
with the glasses.
same sword.
Yes.
Same hilt and same what is that called? The handguard. Yeah.
Crossguard. Well, whatever.
There's like a
Handguard,
specific
crossguard.
Japanese name for it.
Protects your fingers from getting severed.
Bingo.
Wonderful tool on sword.
He has the same sword. And that's definitely not a coincidence. We know Oda. He's a stickler for details.
He also seems to be from Wano country. I feel like a lot of the big players in the current Navy, and I feel like a lot of players in the current Navy have Wano origins. I feel like Akinu might be somehow related to the Wano. I feel like that elder is somehow related to the Wano.
Purple Tiger.
Purple Tiger, obviously.
Yeah, I guess
is their representative, and
there's another
future staunch ally of the Straw Hats, reluctant smoker-ish ally.
Yeah, I could see that.
Rival
I could see
ally,
him.
Rivali.
Well, he's kind of said that. New words. We're getting new words over here.
Raftel Rivali.
Rivali's actually the bird hero from Zelda Breath of the Wild.
At this moment, Brandon decided to talk about Zelda, the Breath of the Wild, which had absolutely nothing to do with this video. For the sake of our viewers, it has been cut.
But yeah, world government and Wano country seem to be pretty intertwined, which is interesting considering that they've been basically taken over from a coup from Kaido, and the world government seemingly has no response so far. Purple Tiger, understandably pissed off about the whole situation, but what's he doing about it?
Well, do we even know that? Has he said anything about it?
I would assume. I mean, how could he be a fan of Kaido while he works for the world government?
Yeah, I mean, Kaido's clearly evil. I mean, his 3 lieutenants are known as the Calamities.
I feel like Kaido's subordinates seem to be more evil than he himself. I mean, evil, he's shown sobbing, crying. He doesn't seem to have a lot of love for his crew, perhaps, but he seems to have a lot of love for his dream, at least. He's not overly cruel, I feel like. Maybe.
I think I could absolutely see Jack and the other lieutenants being way more evil. Kaido...
Jack just seems like he just revels in being evil.
Oh,
he loves it. He's all about it.
Absolutely. I want to see him drink blood. I want to see him cut off an arm and, like, drink it Ninja Scroll style. What a scene.
He would. He'd take off the crossguard and just blah, blah, blah.
I'm going to put that scene right here, just to Kai, just eating.
One Piece takes a dark turn.
Hey, we've seen more amputations lately, which I'm loving.
Yes. Big supporter of that. I like that Oda's drawing his manga a little bit more mature. Like, it's time. Like, the new world, now, the stakes are higher, so obviously the injuries you take when you do take a direct hit are a lot more grievous. Because everybody's very strong. It just seems like if you get hit, even if there's a pretty sizable difference in how strong you are, it doesn't tickle anymore. Nobody's brushing off anybody's attacks. Big Mom was even stunned by an attack from Nami. Briefly stunned.
Oh yeah, the lightning?
That's what I like that. Oda manages to make a lot of his characters stronger while not making them physically stronger. Nami, Brook, and Usopp are great examples of that.
Yeah.
They can never take a punch from any of these people. They're long-distance fighters, but they still manage to play a significant role in all of these things.
They develop some really cool techniques. And I think Chopper at some point needs to develop Haki. Like, at some point when there's a lull and they have a little time, Luffy needs to, like, help train them. Because Chopper with Haki...
It would be devastating. He managed to take a punch from Big Mom by going into his defense point, which is... I feel like that's underrated how impressive that is. Yeah. He didn't even seem fazed by it. I'm sure if Big Mom started really laying into him, he'd be spitting up blood pretty soon.
And then in Monster Point, he was covered in blood, so they probably had a little tussle at some point that we didn't see.
Yeah, I'm sure. Maybe he just got hit by some scorching flames.
I feel like Oda's gonna give Chopper his due at some point, because Monster Point just can't be the answer to everything. It doesn't. It's too cumbersome. It's too slow.
Well, we still haven't seen Arm Point yet, right?
Arm Point and Jump
Arm
Point.
Point.
We still haven't seen
Jump Point.
We're almost
magical.
300 chapters into the time skip. We still haven't seen Arm Point.
We still haven't seen a lot of the Straw Hat crew really have a good... Like, it just seems like these past arcs, with the exception of the Doflamingo arc, there haven't seemed to be a lot of one-on-one fights anymore between the lower-ranked members of the crew and somebody else.
Yeah.
It seems like everybody's either got objectives to do, or they're tag teaming, or they're doing a fighting retreat,
And
or infiltrating.
the crew's just been split up for years now.
Yeah, very long time. It's a little frustrating.
Yeah, since like 2014.
Yeah.
Remember 2014?
Way back then,
What was I playing?
I was probably still playing Skyrim.
Oh, I think I was supposed to. Still good.
Check out our Elder Scrolls series. Come to you.
I'm gonna be like an old man with like Medicaid and like a fake
Oh.
hip, like.
I'm gonna be investing my social security into a sick new rig.
Dude, speaking of rigs,
Whipping my grandkids apart. No quarter given, no mercy.
oh,
They're gonna have to earn the right to say, I can beat my grandpa in video games.
oh yeah.
People will be like, of course you can. No, they haven't
Abs-
met me yet.
You have no idea what my grandpa's like. Dude, speaking of which, hey, little PC gamer talk right now. Blew some dust into my fans, into my GPU fans. You'd be surprised what came out of there.
I might have to give that a go.
If I still have air, you should absolutely do it. It'll save your GPU.
Yeah.
That's like the number one killer of PCs is dust.
When I play Skyrim right now, after like maybe the 4th or 5th hour in a row, the computer starts to get a little warm. Not
Yeah,
like
which is
scorching
natural.
or anything, but you know, I periodically I always put my hand to the side of it just to see. I'd like to catch some burning hotness before it becomes a real problem.
Yeah. You know what you can do? Look up your GPU, see what the normal temperature is, and when you hit Task Manager, this is the menu that brings up everything that's running.
Yeah.
It'll tell you what your CPU and GPU temperatures are. And if they're normal, great. Then they should be. I think you start to see like crazy frame rate drops and like some serious problems if it started to like overheat. You might even smell it. I'm not sure. I've
Yeah.
never experienced that.
Hopefully, never will.
Yeah.
That's a horror show right there. Or smell.
Cool. So chapter 893.
Chapter 893. Luffy finally builds his PC and gives up on being Pirate King.
And just starts
gonna
playing
be
Overwatch.
Pirate King of the forums. He found a
Jeff
pirate
Kaplan
bank.
joins the crew.
The crew quickly gets nerfed into the ground.
Hey guys,
Too
Jeff
OP.
here.
They always seem to come out on top, so Jeff's not having that. New meta. New meta is now Jewelry Bonnie. She's now gotten a major buff.
Who is definitely one of Big Mom's daughters. Same hair color, same little lipstick.
I always assumed that she had some kind of relation to Akinu, since it seemed like Akinu wanted her for some reason.
Well, he says like
Specifically alive.
Sengoku's been looking for you, but maybe Sengoku wanted to use her as a bargaining chip with Big Mom.
But how could he think that would work if he knew anything about Big Mom? She doesn't give a about her kids, especially.
What?
Well,
No.
Well, she's very quick.
I
to
mean,
cut ties.
unless you know
she's
her-
very quick. And it seems like she's especially cruel to her daughters rather than her sons.
Yeah.
She's especially cruel to the daughters.
Mommy dearest.
Marries them off or gets them. I think she has some kind of jealousy issues with her daughters.
Absolutely.
She doesn't. I think maybe she sees herself usurped by a daughter rather than a son.
Could you imagine trying to marry off Dogtooth? He would just eat his wife. Just a mouthful of
He can eat that.
And it was here that Brandon and Matt had a highly inappropriate conversation about things no one should ever listen to.
Alright, homies.
Homies, I like that.
Yeah.
You're our homies. We control you. You're a piece of my soul, piece of Brandon's soul. We're connected.
I'll give it to you.
We're gonna have to go for our formal goodbye now, because it turns out our roommate was asleep in that room this entire time.
Yeah.
She got a daily dose of One Piece.
Now she knows everything.
It's forced in this apartment.
Yeah, so we'll see you next week. 894. Should be fun.
Unless Oda decides to take a day off, who knows?
Yeah. Thanks, Johnny Jump. Later.
Have a good one.